Hi folks, welcome to Let's Talk Chiropractic. I'm Dr. John, I'm your host for tonight, and there's Dr. Alex over there. And the beautiful rose, as I said, between the two thorns here is Gabby.
Hi.
Thanks for coming tonight, Gabby.
You're welcome.
You know, Dr. Alex, many people watching the show, if you have anybody that has migraines and headaches, Gabby's going to tell her story. But before we get into that, Gabby, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a second-year nursing student. I go to school the first half of the day, and then the second half of the day I work as a pharmacy tech at Hazleton Walmart. So most of the day I'm hunched over doing schoolwork. I go home, I study, I'm hunched over. I do homework, I'm laying down. Yeah.
And somehow she came to Dr. Alex. So, the reason I'm excited about this show, Alex, there's so many people out there with migraines, yet they're afraid of chiropractors.
Yes.
So we're going to listen to her story, and maybe some of those watchers will say, you know what? If her story is truthful, they'll give us a call. So go get a glass of water, sit down, and listen to our show.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Chiropractic. So, Gabby here has been dealing with migraines and she came in to see me. So, Gabby, tell me, how long were you dealing with these migraines?
I have been dealing with migraines since I was about 12, 13 years old. I always had neck pain, but I didn't think too much of it. But with the headaches, I've been to the doctors, I've tried migraine medications, I've tried everything, and they just didn't know what was causing it.
So no change with those medications and stuff?
No change.
Yeah, I've heard this story a lot. It's a tough situation. Did you ever try any conservative therapies like physical therapy, occupational, other chiropractors?
I've been to a different chiropractor before, but I didn't feel like it helped me as much.
Okay. And, we never want to throw shade on other chiropractors or anything. Sometimes with these cases, it's just a different touch. So our techniques might be a little different. I do have a degree in neurology, which I'm not saying that's the difference, right? It might just be chance. But sometimes just having that little bit of an extra understanding does help. And I know with your case, it was familiar to me. To be honest, your neck reminds me a little bit of my own. So it was like the back of my hand. I was able to take care of yours, which is fortunate. Now, with your migraines, is there because a lot of times when I used to have these terrible migraines, is there this long period of, oh my goodness, I can't do anything whenever you have one? Or is it debilitating like that? Or are you pushing through them and dealing with days that you're suffering? What was it like?
Well, when I had my really bad migraines, I wasn't able to go to school. I had to be in bed with lights off, sleeping throughout the day. I didn't go to work. I called off work all the time for my headaches.
Yeah, and right. And I heard a stat once that $3 billion are lost to migraines every year in America.
Wow.
Now, I know you haven't had migraines, but you've treated plenty of people with migraines, and from what I hear, it goes usually pretty great. So tell me your experience.
I don't know her past, but what do you think was caused? My patients, either they had trauma years ago, like car accidents, or they're stomach sleepers. So when they sleep on their stomach and they twist their neck to breathe, it misaligns it, and they don't even know about it, Alex. So for them, it's almost like eye-opening when the migraines get better, but then you can actually correct the cause of the migraine. So how about her? Did you go into her past?
Yeah, right. Good point, right. Because we did have a really bad habit, but to be fair, there could have been something before that. But let's talk about that bad habit first. So what were you doing?
Cracking my own neck.
Yeah.
Right, and that's not good at all.
Right, and I'm right there with you again. I used to be the guy cracking his own neck. And I'm so glad you listened to me. I mean, we'll talk about some of the results later, but it really makes the difference. I can't do it all. If you're cracking your own neck, they would have come back. I guarantee it. Now, as for other traumas, I mean, just thinking back, if you don't know, you don't know. But was there any singular trauma, or did you fall and hit your head when you were 6 or something, or did you have a car accident? Anything?
Well, when I was in high school, I was a cheerleader.
Right.
So I'm pretty small, so I was the flyer. I had to be thrown up. I had a couple falls on my back, on my side.
Jeez, yeah. Between cheerleading and gymnastics, I don't know which is worse. Those guys, they get tossed around a lot. It's really rough on your body.
But a lot of patients like hers, let's say as a cheerleader that started it. And then maybe she started, so the misalignment, her beautiful body starts saying, I need to be fixed. So people watching are thinking, what's the difference? If she cracks it or you crack it, but I tell people, I cannot crack my own neck. You can crack it, but not in the proper direction.
Right.
So the vector, our angle of adjustment, someone has to get behind Gabby to move it properly. So I don't want people watching the show. I used to speak in high schools, and this one kid in West Hazelton said, you're just afraid I'm going to take away your job if I crack my own neck. And some people, that's what they think. But as you know, Alex, the more Gabby used to crack her neck, the more she had. So it was getting worse and worse. It wears down the facets. So I want to make sure people understand that when you adjust her neck, it's a whole different angle, and she should have the desire to crack her neck less and less.
And it's so tricky too, because whenever you're doing that adjustment, there's that stimulation. It's actually an incredible stimulation for your spine. Even though you're doing it wrong, it releases all these endorphins, and there's your reward center. It's the same pathway neurologically as an addiction. So, you're thinking you're doing good because your body's getting this reward. But, really, and I'm so impressed that you stopped, by the way, because it really is like an addiction. So that's why it's such a problem, because you get the reward. Anywho, unless, okay, for example, with your migraines, right before you saw me, what was the thing that said, now it's time to see the chiropractor? Because I think this is important. I always think, you're living this life with migraines. What is the final straw? What is the thing that says, that's it? I need to see somebody. So what was it?
Besides being bedridden from my migraines, after years and years and years of not doing anything and nothing working, my neck eventually got worse. To the point where I'd wake up some days and I can only look straight. I can't even turn my head without wanting to cry. It got pretty bad, so I said, okay, I'm going to try and go to a chiropractor.
Yeah, that's always a dramatic moment. Okay, on that note, go take a little break, take a snack. We're going to come back and talk about adjustment and healing. What does that part look like? So hang tight. Hey, welcome back to Let's Talk Chiropractic. So we're going to show you a real appointment. Gabby hasn't had her appointment this week until now. So we've shown you adjustments, we've given you a little feel, but I want the entire experience there. So Gabby, if you would please, come back with me. We'll go into the first exam room. So right here is the first room. Normally we'd have nice music playing too. Oh, and I'll take my computer. I gotta take my notes. All right, so Gabby, how are you today? What's going on?
I'm good.
Okay, good. Have you had any migraines since last appointment?
No migraines at all.
That's good. Any complaints?
For my last appointment, I think I remember you doing only the one side because you said the other side was looser. 2 days later, the side that you didn't adjust, it felt like it was bothering me, and the side that you didn't felt fine.
I understand. I waited on it because I do like to err towards caution, but I probably should have just adjusted it, right? That's what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. Today we'll take care of it for sure. All right. And we'll go on the table. Ready? Okay. So we're going to go face down. Now, even though her problem's in her neck, I always take care of the whole spine. If I just took care of her neck without paying attention to the rest, it's all related. So what you end up getting is the same problems keep coming back and back and back. It gets really frustrating if I don't take care of the whole spine. So we'll go face down, that's all right. We'll put our hands here. And to be honest, this is Gabby's third appointment. So I haven't seen her that much. And most often, I don't expect results as quick as hers because she's having fabulous results. She's had no migraines. How often were you having migraines? Was it every week?
Every day.
Every day. So we went from everyday migraines to none for 2 weeks, which is awesome. And her hips are staying even. which is exactly what I want to see. So she's behaving herself. She's not, well, also she's young. Young people get better results just because their body can take all the stuff they throw at them. So even though she's even, I'm going to stretch it a little bit because I want to encourage those hips to keep it up. And I pay attention to my last adjustments. I need to know where I've been to know where I'm going. Okay. So her adjustment is actually usually a tailbone adjustment. These drops are gentle. I'm not trying to move the earth. I'm just trying to gently put her hips back into place. Now, they're already in place. So what am I doing? I'm just going to stretch it a little bit the way it has to go. I want to remind you, this is your home. And because I'm a little paranoid, I always make sure she stayed even. Because the last thing we want is for something to get worse after coming to see me. It's never happened, but I don't know. Maybe I'm paranoid. All right, and for Gabby, we always do side posture, but let me check this mid-back first. Breathe in and out. Mid-back's not too bad. One more time in and out. Good. Breathe in and out. And I hope you're not lightheaded, but that feels pretty good. So from here down, I give her an A+. She's doing great. She's doing great. We're starting to have trouble as we get to here. This area gets pretty tight on a lot of people. I think it has something to do with your stress in your shoulders. People say, oh, you know, when I get real stressed out, my shoulders get tight. I think Abby's one of those. And she's been working hard with her studies. Okay, we're going to go on her side facing me.
Okay.
Now, because she's young and she can handle it, these side posture moves are very safe and very effective. Her low back isn't particularly in need, so I won't do both sides. That's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making, because remember the neck, I should have done both sides. But when I do these side posture moves, the first one is either for the hips or the low back, and the second one is for the other, whatever I didn't do. So for this move, I'm going to do the low back. Just a little one, not too bad. Right? Not too bad? No? We'll go face up. Now if her hips or tailbone were out, I would switch sides and do the tailbone, because the other side was where the tailbone usually needed it. But she's been even for 2 weeks now. That's great. That's where the magic happens. When we have people staying even, their body is capable of healing and realigning itself almost automatically. Now this neck of hers is a different story because it's got more going on with that trauma and whatnot. So let me check it. Sorry about the cold fingers. You know, when I'm in the middle of the day after seeing a bunch of people, my fingers, they stay warm, but it's been an hour, so let's see. So you have a little one over here, okay? So we relax. Good job. Good job. Well done. Well done. That has nothing to do with her migraines, but for her neck's stability's sake. And that was probably the one I didn't do last time.
I think you did that one.
I did that one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, relax again. That one's for the migraines,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And it was a lot. I tried to be as gentle as possible, but it still makes a bunch of noise. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes to get things done, you have to move things. And yeah. Now, how do you feel?
Good.
Right, good. Now, even though she doesn't have migraines, her neck still has some stuff going on. There's like a point of no return for these sort of things. You can handle only so much. So her body's young, it's got a lot of health, it's got a lot of energy, and that's really, migraines is an energy game. Her energy right now, the balance is okay, even though she's got this dysfunction. But if it got much worse or it stayed that way a long time, I know these migraines are coming back. So because of what I felt in the neck, even though the rest of her spine was good, she's still going to have to do 1 week. I hope you're okay with that.
That's fine.
That's okay? Yeah, I know. I always hope for that visit where I can say, yes, finally we go to 2 weeks, but you're still on 1 week for now. That's okay. It's only visit 3, right? That's not too bad. All right, and I hope this gives you a good idea of what an appointment would feel like, okay? So go take another break, take a snack, come right back. We'll be here talking about our post results. Hey, welcome back to Let's Talk Chiropractic. So we just gave Gabby her 3rd adjustment as part of her treatment plan. A lot of people think that there's just one visit to the chiropractor and then, you see what happens. There's a treatment plan. These things take time. So you just had your 3rd adjustment. How are you feeling, Gabby?
Compared to when I first came, a lot better. I haven't had a single migraine. My neck, when I wake up, it doesn't hurt at all. I can't remember last time I had to take a pain pill for my neck, like Tylenol.
Great.
I haven't called off work. I haven't missed school. It's been amazing.
That's awesome. And you were complaining when you came in. You said, "Oh, that other side was bothering me." Is it better now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I had a feeling. That's good. Now, we mentioned between takes that your mother has headaches too,
Yeah.
and she's afraid to come in
Yeah.
because of all the noise, right?
Yeah, she has migraines, probably more than me. Hers are really bad, and she's always like, "Oh, my neck hurts, my neck hurts." And I think she's just scared because of the noise that it makes.
Yeah.
And I tell her, like, it's not that you don't feel it, but it doesn't hurt at all. Like, if
Right.
anything, afterwards, you feel so relieved. Your neck, all that tension's gone. So,
And to be honest, I have some people who come to me, they say, "I'm too afraid, I don't want you to crack my neck." And Dr. John, we don't crack their neck, right?
No, I really believe, and this is crucial for this show, we must meet her mother. And I pray her mother's watching the show. Meet her where she's at, Dr. Alex. I pray she has enough courage to say, my daughter is feeling great. Has to be something to this. Mom, he promised he will not crack your neck. Mom will come in then. Use the drop piece. You'll make partial corrections with the more gentle drop piece table. No cracking at all. And by the third, fourth visit, it's a beautiful moment when that patient says, "You know what? Thank you for not cracking my neck. I trust you now. There's a relationship. Now let's try it." So, and then when you do get that little crack, they always say, "That wasn't so bad after all." But if you do it on the first visit,
Right.
her mother will never come back. And she
Right.
say, "I'm not." So I pray that her mother watches this show, and 50 other people are afraid to get their necks cracked. So you don't crack the neck initially, but you build a trust relationship, and you could change her mother. Won't it be awesome if your mother does her show? Maybe in 2 months from now, and her mother says to us, "I don't believe it. I had all my doubts, but they didn't crack me, and now I have no headaches at all." So that would be the next show to do 2 months
That
from
would
now.
be wonderful. That would be wonderful. That's the beautiful thing about this show. It's an extended hand. We're saying this is a safe place to be. We're not dangerous people. We're trying to help. And we're do no harm doctors. We take that seriously. We're not here to surprise you with, noise and cracks and all this stuff. Gabby, trust me, her neck is doing much better, and she's able to relax and let me do that gentle adjustment, which in her case does make noise. We had to move things around, and that involves gas escaping and noise. But we don't have to make that noise. This is, I can't say enough how much these internet chiropractors are, they're not helping this profession. Because I think that's the big problem. They're all seeing these internet chiropractors who are causing, a lot of noise. And they're being really rough. And you can tell people are shaken by these rough adjustments. This is not that place. This is a place where we're here to help you. Speaking of helping you, in your treatment plan, we're going through this progression of function. So right now, you're feeling pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will get to this point and they'll say, "Great, you fixed me, thanks, see you later. Peace out." But you understand, thank you, you understand, maybe it's because you're in nursing school, you understand that it's not just about feeling good, you have to actually be functional.
Mm-hmm.
So that dysfunction in your neck, still hanging around. To be honest with you, sometimes these things hang around a while. The neck it takes a little while to listen. So we're doing these weekly visits. We're playing it by ear. We're being honest with each other. We're talking about how it's going. And it's going to be week to week to week until that neck of yours becomes a little bit more stable. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, it's looking good after a week. We go to 2 weeks. This is a great moment. It's like a graduation. When people hit the 2-week mark, to me, I'm like, whew, it's almost like job well done, even though we're not quite out of the woods yet. And then after a couple 2-week visits, oh my goodness, it's holding 2 weeks. We go to a month, and then we have a conversation. How much do you want to come here? We're at a month. You're lasting. This is probably going to last for a while. Do you want to wait for it to be trouble again or keep doing monthly? So what do you think? When we get to the end of this, is the road worth it?
Yes.
Yes, it's worth it?
Absolutely, yes.
Because of these last 2 weeks, you're convinced?
Mm-hmm.
It's nice when we have results like this, right?
It's exciting to watch, Alex. I pray there's a bunch of people watching the show. Daily migraines, and I've talked to patients. Neurologists will do CAT scans of the brain. They never really sort of go the extra mile to say, well, if it's not the skull, they never think about the neck.
Right.
So I pray people watching the show are going to say, you know what? They have migraines. They saw a neurologist, and they're not helping me. All those pills, she was missing school, missing work. Now you can have a brand new life, Gabby. So it's exciting. And as you know, we're mechanics. We know how to get it in alignment. The body just does its own healing once things are in proper place. So it'll be great if her mother comes someday, though. So I'm
Yes.
excited. You work
Yeah.
on her, okay?
Yep, I will.
Yeah, and let her watch the show. Hopefully that will convince her. Okay. And as for your mother coming, so as long as you've been, I have been having migraines. She's been having migraines longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to temper expectations a little bit. Gabby here is a good case. I love it when we have one adjustment and it's all better. Feels good. You know, we just deal with a little lingering dysfunction and this person's, you know, wrap them up and ship them off. But most of the time, these things have been here a while, right? When it comes to migraines, and we're dealing with years of, you know, dysfunction and trauma, that the healing takes more time, right, Dr. John? In your experience, it's not usually one visit, right?
I agree. And again, I'm just guessing. Is your mother, what, 45 years old?
50.
Okay,
Close.
so she's had migraines for years. She doesn't want to have her neck cracked. So we use a more gentle technique, which gets less results, but it's safer. And as mom sort of drops her fear factor, I'll call it, then she gets, so honestly, Alex, it's exciting for me. That's why I tell people I never want to retire. When you get Gabby, Gabby's going to become a nurse. What do you think she's going to do over the next 30 years when one of her patients says, I've had CAT scans and MRIs and these migraines aren't going away? Her heart's going to naturally say, have you seen a chiropractor? So she's going to touch many people's lives because she can tell them about her story. And that's going to just, so it's a progression just of helping more and more people as the years go by.
That's awesome. Isn't that kind of beautiful? I don't know. That's a nice thing. That's a nice sentiment. Like the butterfly effect, you know, it just goes on and on.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, thanks for watching. I think so. And again, I'm here 42 years. I go to Christmas parties and people come up to me and say, I heard you can fix migraines and headaches. But again, Alex, you have to be like I tell people, be like a detective. If you're sleeping on your stomach, stop doing it. It twists the neck. If you're cracking your neck like Gabby did, stop doing it. You cannot make the proper vector, the proper angle. See a gentle chiropractor. Some chiropractors are too rough, to be honest with you. So the right touch to get Gabby's neck. If you were too rough, she would never come back.
Right.
If you're too rough with her mother, she'll never come back. So you have to read every patient and see what is their tolerance level. So it's an exciting thing to look at all the little details that patient gives you, how much of a technique can they take and change their life. So if you've watched the show, you've seen the adjustment, let Dr. Alex, who has a neurology degree, let him help you get rid of your migraine. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving and we'll see you next week.